All right, so today my students are starting Romeo and Juliet, Act 1, the prologue, and the prologue is kind of one of the more difficult parts to read. They haven't gotten used to the language yet. It has a lot of big vocabulary words that some of them get confused with, and before this year I always kind of walked them through it. This year I came up with this strategy with a summer program I did with teaching Shakespeare with involving movement to get them to kind of understand the lines more. And the idea is if they're a kinesthetic learner, if they're standing up, they're moving, they're actually thinking about what movements go with those vocabulary words, it's going to add to deeper understanding. So I've already put them in pairs, and each pair gets a line from the prologue, and then they're going to act out that line for us. And we're going to try to do a dress rehearsal and then a real part, and they're going to see everyone perform, and then we're going to go and do these close reading questions with it. And then hopefully the close reading will go quicker, they'll be more ready to answer the questions, they'll have less questions for me because they've seen these images and they've acted out parts to it already. Actual audience members right now. We have a really big class, so you may want to scoot back a little bit. You have to be sitting with your pair, with your partner. Okay? Make sure you are sitting with your partner. Let's actually get in the circle. Okay, Luke, I'm interested to see what German has to do with the Shakespearean line, but okay. So, nothing is perfect the first time you do it, including writing your papers for me. So we're going to do a kind of dress rehearsal and then the real thing. So remember, the first run is a practice run. It's okay if you forget your line or it's a little choppy. We're going to keep rolling with it. And then the second time, we're going to try to do this and make it flow as well as we can, like it's being read. Okay? So pay attention to who you go after so you're ready to jump in the second time. And when you read your line, you need to come into our mush pot in the middle to do it so we can have the spotlight on you. All right, so line 1, come on up here. We'll start you off in a minute. Line 2, be ready to come up and do your line. Remember to say everything loudly so we can hear. Okay.
2 households, both alike in dignity.
Okay. Line 2.
Where we play arson.
Line 3.
From ancient grudge, break to new unity. 11.
Where civil blood
Makes civil hands clean.
Take your breath.
from forth the fatal ones of these 2 foes. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. His misadventure piteous overthrows.
Don't put their death, bury their parents' strife. Calm down. Calm down.
A fearful passage of their death nor to love. And the continuance of their parents' rage.
And with their children's death, naught could remove.
Is now the 2 hours for the traffic of our stage.
Oh, what's that?
Which of you, patient ears attend.
What here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Nice. Okay, so that actually flowed pretty well for a first time. Give yourself a hand. Okay, so this time I don't want you to rush the lines, but I would like for you to, be ready to jump in as soon as possible. So don't rush what you're saying or rush the movement, but try to make the transitions quicker. Also, I am so glad that you recognize me as your primary, most important audience member, but I feel like over here they're kind of tired of looking at your behind. So let's try to face more like this way or over here a little bit more this time, so this side of the circle can get the full experience as well. Are you all ready? Do not talk while they are going. Be captivated audience members. All right, line one.
Two households
both alike in dignity.
and fair Verona, where we lay are seen.
From ancient grudge. Do your hand. Break to new beginning.
When civil blood
Make civil hands unclean.
from forth the fatal ones of these two foes. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. Whose misadventures piteous overthrows.
In the continuance of their parents' rage.
Which with their children's end, naught could remove.
Hold on. Go in. Hold on. One of you skipped one. Okay.
But with their death,
Oh, hey, we got
bury their parents.
Now you two.
It's now the 2 hours for the traffic on our stage.
the which of you with patient ears attend.
What here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Nice work. Okay, so I don't want you to think about what happens in the actual play right now. I want you to think just about the prologue. We got several recurring images based on what we saw in the middle of this circle. Okay, raise your hand if you can identify one of the recurring images. Katie?
Death.
Death. What's another one that we saw? Fighting between families. What else did we see? Mending, coming together. Okay, so with those images, raise your hand if you can be descriptive of what emotions are going to be involved in this play. Anger, Kate?
Sadness.
Sadness, what else? You're missing a big one, Riley.
Love.
Love. Okay, so look at the last two lines for a minute on page 7. This is kind of important too. Now these were Cade, Max, and then Ashley and Ashley and Kathleen's lines. The which of you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. Who are they talking to here? The audience. They're talking to the audience, and this is kind of cool because remember, they got their livelihood from these plays, and they didn't make a lot of money. They want you to like this play. And what they're saying here is they're saying, look, if there are some things that you don't like about it, hopefully our performance and the overall story will move you. And you're shaking your head no, but by the end you're gonna love it. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and answer some questions now on this, and hopefully this movement activity helped you understand it better. So let's go back in and we're gonna do this close reading. Close reading passages. That means sometimes longer, but sometimes more challenging passages that we need to take a closer look at. You can mark all over this if you need to underline or circle anything that sticks out to you or you don't understand. And in your group, you're going to answer these 4 questions right here. And also, under the prologue, it asks what the function of this section is. So why did they put this section in the play? What's it doing for the audience? So you guys answer these questions in your group right now.
I know this one. I know that one.
Ending.
What does that mean?
You went deeper.
I would like to find
Like in what?
well, just as how because there was a picture that had
But think about what that means.
like the same, and then they're talking about saying dignity. They're saying that like they're saying
What has caused the hatred between the flows?
Is that like?
I did. Shoot, I'm
What else? Like what caused it?
So it says break to new unity. Is that referring to like
A new beginning.
a new beginning of like more violence or less violence?
I think
They hate each other.
I guess we'll just say it's an ancient grudge.
So I wrote it down first and then wrote it down here.
What does start from?
Once you start first, don't agree with what
They take their life. They kill themselves.
There's a whole grudge between families and Romeo and Juliet after rebellion.
Oh, and it varies the
They never said anything about stressful.
search up a word on this if you need to.
Yeah.
One person was.
One wasn't actually dead, and the other person was like, okay, and they said, oh, what's your
Well, the feud ends, the rivalry.
I just think their
Makeup.
lives ended because they were forbidden to try to fix the problem together.
They take their lives. The rivalry thing.
Yes.
Yeah, because it brings the two homes together. I've seen Romeo and Juliet. It's a good movie. There's a flamingo in it. A top yard flamingo. Yeah, we're on this one. We're talking about John.
We're gonna watch a clip of that.
The right can see.
We could do something like
That's exactly.
The internet. It's called Sherlock Holmes.
So like William Shakespeare kind of compares the two families to show that they both hate each other, and then compares Romeo and Juliet to show that they love each other and bring them together.
so
Explain how the opposite
About how love affects
parent loves